What is up, risk takers? We've been sitting in a lobby for quite a while, so I'm not optimistic about this game. What do you think, though? There, Steve. Do you think that's a good way of putting it? I've thought about this. I like. How would you succinct that? It might be a bit too much of a soundbite, eh? But how would you think about it? Someone write that shit down. It is, though. It is. It's trying to quantify. See, I'm not an ethical objectivist, right? I unfortunately, and I don't pretend to be smarter than Kant, but I unfortunately don't think we can ever reduce right and wrong to universalizable rules. So what you end up with is in doing so, what you end up with is this really advanced form of complication that requires at this stage in the game a fucking priest class to decode. I don't like any of my cap options here. And I don't want a priest class. I don't want to pay a privilege so that these folks can tell me where I fucked up. I really don't like any of my options here. Krasnodar? Yeah, let's do this. Try that. Oh, no! All right, we do see a Krasnodar cap. Yeah, I did. I went for, you saw it. I went for the killer cap. Good eye. I liked it. All right. Well, something's going to happen in the East, folks. I got double bot capped. Cool. At least I see them both. Who else sees them? Blue. Blue sees one. We don't know who that is. Okay. Hey, Frozen Star. First time in the Twitch stream. How are you, man? Welcome, welcome. You don't think it's a real game? Well, I mean, we started with 2 botted out players, so you never know. Yeah, just for a moment, though. This will be fun. Yeah, we'll play it. We'll play it, and we'll see how it goes. It'll be more interesting than that classic fix game where we're sitting there with our thumb up our ass for fucking 20 minutes. Yeah, the red caps. I mean, hey, you can't blame a bot for taking a shitty cap choice. But, you know, 2v4. Oh, no. It finally happened, folks. It finally happened. They got me. We got ads. All right, we're going to have to turn this off for a while. We'll be able to put the tunes back on, but I don't exactly know when. And I'm not going to play ads. So that's that. Something happened to my YouTube. Just as Taryn was complimenting me too. Just as Taryn was complimenting me on the tunes. We got to turn the tunes off. Setting. Give people the tune we want. Instant crush. No. I'm not using any of that shit. Let's just hedge. No, I don't have Spotify. So Spotify would run through the wrong channel, and then it would be on the recording, and then I couldn't use the recording for YouTube. It's a whole thing. You're kind of fun to watch too. We try. Why not take your turn 1 rush? Yeah, I know, eh? I wish. All right, do we see blue? Shoot their shot at that cap. I hope not. I hope he knows that I'm claiming all of these caps, by the way. Wow. Magenta going hard on turn 1 France. Look at that. Is that sax, Andy? Oh, baby. Let's play you music on everyone else's turn. Think blue makes the cap big? Well, we'll see. We'll see how many troops blue actually has. Let's just start. Red's cap gonna stay glued to mine, huh? Fuck. Inigo My Toyota says, so the jockey that won the Kentucky Derby was invited to the White House to meet Trump. He responded with, if I wanted to see a horse's arse, I would have come in second. That's a great fucking line. Very nice. Very nice, sir. Yeah, he had all his, I know, Magenta had all his material in the fucking France sphere. It's crazy. New corner open? Yeah, but not for long. Magenta's going to go up that way and clean it. And we lose in purple. Oh, purple played a single turn of risk, folks. A single turn of risk. At least he has a bonus. Happy guy. Happy for you. Purple quits. This lobby is full of noobs. You're telling me. Cheese Steve says, to jump back into the law question, I believe well-written laws are intended to enforce accountability. Western laws are not written this way. They are inherently unequal in both language and enforcement. To be honest, I feel they could use more autism. So my approach to law, which is as a philosopher and not as a lawyer, is one that says the just law is the one that is understood by the simplest under which the simplest that it governs. Meaning that having it be Byzantine complex, or in, I think what you're advocating for, overly precise, I think ultimately ends up being a detriment. And I think the more rules we try and build in our society, the further we get from ethics, in fact. Right? I think what we want, the world we would aspire to build, would be one where we have a coherent culture and a coherent society that shares larger values and has agreement on what it is mutually building. But I feel like I do fully understand what you're saying. The only real kind of criticism I have of it is like there's an infinite regress in that, right? If the law could always be more precise, right? It could always be more finely tuned. You could always make up a new, slightly more accurate rule, but that goes on and on and on and on. You know what I mean? So it's like, at what point is the reasonable point? And I think we're far past it. I think the reasonable point is a lay person should be able to understand the rules of the game, right? This is the rules of our society, the rule book, right? If you look at the actual law, that's the rule book. You can't read it. You can't understand it. You have to go to, specialized school and or pay a ridiculous premium for a specialist, right? Which I find kind of insulting. Thank you, Mars, for the Prime. Thank you for the 4 months. How you doing, Ben? Yo, Constantine, what's up, man? Welcome. Hope you're well. Spike Lee says, technology is very hard for the government to control, so laws are kind of meaningless when it comes to technological issues. We live in a technological Wild West. Yeah, scary, eh? We might be in for a rough road ahead. Okay, so now Magenta's beating the shit out of blue. Am I making a cringe vid? What did I do? Who's cringing? Reaction content is cringe? Yeah, I mean, I would try to add some kind of value, if possible. AI can eat our souls. It's a scary thought, eh? And we lost blue. Where's the blue cap in all of this? Fuck! Did I lose a 6v3 here? This is just an unlucky ass motherfucking game. Holy shit. Everything's going bad. Everything is going bad. Trendy says you are the value. Trendy's in a very uplifting mood today. Blue cap in Germany, you say. Ah, okay. Okay. Did we see it, or you're just inferring? Oddly says there was a cozy sci-fi I read, a psalm for the wind built, where a robot was asking, what if someone abused the system of trust? And the main character says, then we'd be concerned about them and want to help them. Sure. I mean, that's that's most people, eh? Someone lost a 99 on his 10, yeah. Good. I'm glad to hear it. JP's fucking playing on hard mode, man. And there's not to take a single thing away from him. He is a great player. He's playing on fucking hard mode. My first true random roll was a 10v1 and I lost it. What? I mean, if that was my first experience, I would probably too. I like that blue bought it because now I do have the guaranteed blue kill. So magenta hasn't really expanded all that much. Uplifting moods as well. Okay, well that's doing your best to create it, huh? Or maintain it or whatnot. I don't think red ever steps off that 6 cap. At least it's not putting troops on it. Do we break purple here? Or here? Nope. ZZ Legendary says, I'm back to true random now. I made peace with it, but it was traumatizing. I understand. No, red is not a taker. No. Oh. Oh, Perpy. Oh, Perpy. All right, cool. Okay. Purple. I get really annoyed when people lose one hitting my 10 stack in balance blitz. Listen, at some point, you guys can make your peace with the fact that you're playing a dice game. But I hear ya. Hear ya. All right. Hey, blue sets. Blue sets on Perpy's border. I don't love those bad beats because of dice either. Nobody does. I just got back into Risk after taking the winter off. Went from beginner to GM in 25 games. Not going to lie, feels good. What do you play? This? 10 troops. Wait, what? What does yellow getting 10 troops for? What does yellow have? Italy? How does yellow have Italy? What? Okay. Yeah, meta exclusively makes sense. That'd be probably the only way you could do that in 25 games. Chat is expressing interest in actual balance splits. Yes. And break Perpy. Fuck yeah! Sorry, Perpy. Bye! Poor Perpy. And this game is ridiculous. I think it's the competitive minded people struggle with with too much variance. Ultimately. So Magenta's holding France, but they're not expanding. Very confused about what I'm seeing. Purple's going to retaliate. It is ridiculous. Yeah, true random better follows an expectation for large numbers, but even then. Oh, did Magenta break our heart? Yeah. Magenta broke our heart. I think we're in a 1v1 with Magenta. Yep. It's you and me, Magenti. All right, how do I use this bot most effectively? I think taking large pieces of board. I think yellow's gonna remain a problem for Magenta. Cheese the Steve says, I did enjoy reading SMG's outline of the processing power required to facilitate those roles calculations when the number of troops skyrocket. Yep. When do we get the holy fuck? That's a cap stack. You think that would motivate them to build in systems that to prevent stalemates? I think getting top players and content creators involved in the design process is essential for this, because the assumption is that someone in there is playing, right? You need players playing the game at the highest level to inform the design decisions. Otherwise, there will simply just be unforeseen consequences. Best way to put it. This is Magenta going down into Spain or going into Italy to break yellow. Tube corner. Oh, Magenta. I thought we had a good thing going. Purple still have their cap? Yeah. Hey, Mario. Hey, Pete, to help reduce cheating, do you think having a phone number tied to your account might reduce the number of cheaters? Yeah, that'd be great. Verified users? I don't know. I know nothing about internet security, but sounds like it'd be great. That their cap stack? That must be their cap stack. Purple's probably Greece, right? So my win here is to get Magenta to feed me kills. All right, so we have 5 of the 6 caps. We have me, red, yellow, purple, magenta. Where's blue? You were saying it was in Germany. We haven't seen that yet, have we? that it for purple? No. Okay, purple's elsewhere. Purple's going to bomb a set down. That is also on a set. I imagine they come at me hard, but I'm not actually holding anything. So them trying to break me doesn't hurt me. I just have caps. Surely your win is just outscale pink of the 1v1. They're quite slow. Well, if they get too large. 17 a turn. I have to address them, right? I have a guaranteed blue kill, which is nice. Where is the purple kill? He's just hitting shit. And purple bomb goes off where? In Orient? In Africa? Where else would purple be? Most boring blizzards you ever seen? Yeah, I guess, eh? I know, I like how my little side of the world. There it is. My little side of the world is nice and put together. We get the blue kill here. And that should lead us into multiple kills. I like how you said outscale him in the 1v1. As if I was going to let it get to a 1v1. Ladies and gentlemen. That was great. That was a great finish. It's an interesting type of 1v1, right? A huge map with a lot of bots, and you're like trying to put that on YouTube. I will, I guess. If you don't world dom, is it even considered a win? That was good. That was fucking satisfying, man. Woo! All right. Well, like, this doesn't fucking surprise me either. Goodness gracious. Do a viewer game? We could do a fucking viewer game. I don't mind. Be convinced.